So, when a relationship ends, we have sort of different ways that things happen, the way that things are divided, the way that furniture is divided or property is divided, or we have the way that we make rules about how we will contact or not contact each other. But there are no rules about how we divide the memories. You know what I mean? And this is a story about memories. So many, many years ago, I was working at Women and Children First Bookstore. It was one of my first jobs when I moved to Chicago. And I made lots of friends there that I held on to. And one of them was a young woman who came in with her daughter. And after a few times of our searching for books together and trying to find just the right thing for a Black girl growing up in the city that would make her feel happy and hopeful, we started to be good friends. And her mother asked me if I would be willing to be a godmother for her. And I was absolutely thrilled and honored. And that took me into a journey of celebrating many special occasions. There were birthdays and holidays, and there was helping her study for important tests or get ready for special opportunities. And then there was the wedding. I was invited to tell a story at her wedding. And I was excited, but also overwhelmed. Like, what is the right story for this moment? And none of the stories that I knew seemed like the right story to tell. And I searched and searched, and then I found this one. And when I found it, I thought, this is the story for such a moment. The story says that there was an island. And on this island, all of these virtues were living together. There was peace and there was truth. There was justice and there was hope, and it was good. But then, very unexpectedly, out of nowhere, you know how sometimes a storm hits? That is what happened. They could feel the storm coming, and they could feel that the energy of this storm was powerful, and that if they stayed on their little island, they would not survive. And so they started getting away from that island in whatever way they could, as quickly as they could. They were jumping on boats and rafts and just getting away from there. Well, the last one left on the island was Love. Of course, that is because she had been so busy taking care of everyone else, making sure that they made it to safety. And when Love found herself alone, she could feel the strength of the storm increasing, and she knew that if she didn't get away from there, she would not survive. So she went to the edge of the island. She looked out to see, is there a boat that might swing by and carry me? And she saw a boat just across the water, and she called out. She knew who it was. She said, Power, Power, come on, swing by here and carry me with you. Power just kept on going. Well, now she's getting more and more anxious, and she's scanning the water and wondering, who will carry me? And she looks and she sees something sparkling, and she realizes, yes, stacks of silver, stacks of gold. This is wealth. Oh, wealth. Come on. You got everything you need. You can make a little space for me. Carry me, please. Wealth kept on going. She was beginning to feel despondent now. She didn't know if she would make it. She looked out and she saw this boat sort of just dancing across the water. And she called out, oh, yes, beauty. You know, love and beauty. We have walked hand in hand. Come on and make some room for me. And beauty just kept on dancing. Well, there she was. Head in her hands, not even looking up now, sure that this is how she would end, when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this raggedy little boat came and swept her up and carried her to the island of safety. Now, when she stepped out, she turned around to say thank you. It had all happened so quickly, and she didn't know who it was who had carried her. She wanted to thank them, but they were gone. And the very first one to walk by was Wisdom. She said, Wisdom, did you see who it was who carried me? Because I didn't get a chance to say thank you. And Wisdom said, well, of course, that was time. Because time is the only one who truly understands the meaning of love. That's the story that I told at the wedding, and I made a broom that they jumped over. But that marriage did not last. It was not a healthy space for her. And I wondered if I would keep telling the story. But I realized that that story had come to me because it was a story that I needed. And when my marriage ended and there was the separating of people and the separating of things, I wondered, but what about the memories? Do I still get to hold the memories? Do I push them all aside? And what I learned is that, like that story, the memories that are mine have stood the test of time, and I need to hold them. And that story came to me so that it might nurture her in a particular moment and that it might continue. So it is my wish, it is my prayer that when you are in a moment where you feel like you are losing something, that you will find the piece of it that you want to hold on to, that you need to hold on to, and that holding on might bring you light. Thank you.